Hi,
I'm Fitzroy, and you are?
I'm Captain Dwain Tucker.
Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Could you be more specific?
So I'm from a very small village in St. Vincent and the Grenadines known as Chateaubriand.
Could you give us a synopsis of who you are? Sir?
Wow, well, that's a tall order. Okay, so I grew up in St. Vincent. Spent the earlier part of my life in Chateaubriand. My family migrated to the capital, Kingstown, where I then went and did the majority of my secondary school level education there. At that point, I also joined the St. Vincent Cadet Force, which is where my interest in the military really began. After school, I joined the police force for a short stint, and then the army came knocking, and I was one of the first people to jump on that plane and come to the UK to join the King's Regiment. So I joined the infantry. I loved it. I had some interesting tours, up to 2, up to 9, and then I decided it was time for a change in career, really. And that took me down a path that led me to join the Small Arms School Corps for over 10 years. And once you know I've got to my limits in that organisation, I then commissioned into the Royal Tank Regiment.
How long did you? You're LE, right?
I am, yes.
How long were you serving before you get the commission?
20 years.
20 years.
So I commissioned in 2020. Yeah, 19 years. 19 years. Yeah.
The next round could be major.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
So,
hopefully.
In terms of becoming a major, what's the criteria?
Well, just continue to do a good job. Continue to. Well, I've done all the education courses that I require, the mandatory training, qualifications, etc. But essentially, you want to be able to get a diverse portfolio of jobs under your belt, and hopefully that will hopefully make you competitive to get promoted as early as possible. But I must add, though, that having gone through the ranks, the speed of promotion at this stage is not so much my main motivation. Having commissioned, I see things very differently, and there are other things that are far more important to me than getting to major overnight.
I'm going to put you on the spot, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I or anyone else visit the country you're originally from?
Well, it depends on the individual, what you want out of a holiday, or what you want out of a Caribbean experience. But obviously I'm going to advocate for visiting St. Vincent for its natural beauty, for the volcanic black sandy beaches, the Grenadine Islands. There's a whole list of reasons why visiting St. Vincent is going to be better than any other Caribbean country. For me, as a military person, one of the less known facts about St. Vincent is that St. Vincent is one of the few places in the Caribbean that has put up a fierce resistance from colonization back in the day, where we had the Garifuna people, native Caribs that had occupied that island. And there's still evidence of this resistance in one of our prime tourist destinations, is that the guns, as opposed to facing out towards the sea, which is typical from outside defense, the guns are facing inwards, which means that they at the time saw the threat to be more from the inside warriors than from outside. Now I raise that point to say that I like to think that my heritage as a warrior, as a soldier, has been inbuilt in me based on that heritage, and therefore being a serving British Army officer and I've served as a soldier in infantry, etc. I like to think that's attributed to my heritage, lack of a better word.
Thanks. I can see that you're very knowledgeable of history as it relates to back home. Is there anyone you'd like to say thank you to for the development of your career?
Oh, there's a host of people. There's so much people. We can't. We've had many angels. We've had many support. We've ranging from our parents, or our family, or our loved one, our wives. But I've had a number of of people who have been key to my development. And I think I've mentioned a few of them already, mainly my wife, my mother, children, the support, the people who are around me who support me. But also there are a number of individuals, white British officers and NCOs who would have seen talent in me and who would have given me the time of day to shine and to grow and to develop, and who had mentored me along the way. And I'm eternally grateful to these people, and therefore I couldn't be as successful as I have been so far without the help and contribution of these people. So yeah.
What I didn't ask, prior to you joining, the recruitment process, where did you do all your recruitment? Back home, or you did it here in the UK?
Oh well, I was recruited in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is the version as I see it. So like I've mentioned before, I was a cadet when I was a teenager in secondary school, and we were keen. We were as militant as militant go. We wanted to be soldiers, but obviously we don't have an army in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and therefore the next best thing was the police force, which I've already mentioned. I was a member of. So therefore, as the internet became more and more accessible, a lot of us were sending applications to the British Army to join the British Army, because we knew we could join the British Army if we were a Commonwealth country. And also we were sending applications to the High Commission, etc., etc. It just so happens then that the High Commission took all those applications and these requests, and the Army also took it very seriously and thought, hey, here's a pool of people from this one small country who are keen to be in our army. Why don't we send a team back and see if we can see what can be done. So as I remember it, that's how the Army came to be there. One of the reasons, I'd say, to come and send a recruitment team to St. Vincent, and that resulted in hundreds of us leaving at the time. So yeah, I was amongst the first to join at that stage.
I know we kind of turn back the hands of time, but the experience that you gain being in the Army, if you say, for example, had this vast amount of experience, would you still join?
Oh, there is no doubt. There is absolutely no doubt that given the opportunity again, I will make the same choices. I went into it, yes, I might have done certain things naively, but looking back, had I known what I was putting myself in for, I probably might have done things slightly differently. But having said that, those experiences are experiences that I hold dear, and are experiences that kind of make me who I am, and therefore I value those experiences, good and bad.
For persons out there who would like to join, I'm not sure if the Army will be of any good to them, what would you say to those persons?
Wow, I'd like to think about this for a little bit, because the Army I joined back then is not necessarily the Army that it is today. That said, it's better in a lot of areas. Make sure you know why you want to join the Army, and commit to it. Be willing to give as much as you're willing to take, and fully commit is probably another advice I would give.
That concludes our interview, sir, and I would like to thank you so very much for this interview and the service you have offered, not only to this country, but to everywhere else that you have served. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Thanks, man. All the best. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay.
No worries, man.